Hey, this is the English man of EB English Music, and welcome to another Studio Talk vlog. This is part 3 of the series that we're doing on the SA Music Quota, the 90% SA Music Quota that's been implemented across all SABC radio stations, and it's been now a little over a year since its inception. And today, I had to think very carefully about today's episode because it could get quite sensitive, and I'm trying to remain objective so that I can give you both sides of the story, leaving it open for you to start drawing your own conclusions and opinions. And this would be the perfect video for you to include your comments below so that we can sort of hash this out. I'm not trying to give my own opinions on this. I'm just trying to look at things that I've read, things that I've seen, things that I've heard, putting it together in this episode, and then you can sort of make up your own mind with regards to this. Now, another thing besides the 90-10 rule that came into play is also the increase in percentage of royalties that's paid from the SABC to the collection agencies for royalties. It was previously at 3%, that was increased to 4%. Now let me just tell you what that means, okay? How it works for commercial radio stations and performance royalties that get paid to the likes of Samro, that then get paid to authors and composers of songs, is that a percentage of turnover. So whatever you make in that year, a percentage of that gets paid over to the collection agencies that then get obviously passed on and distributed to authors and composers. Now, let's say you make 100 million. 3 million of that, if it's 3%, would obviously go to the collection agencies. Conversely, or now that it's increased to 4%, obviously it would be, if it's 100 million, 4 million of that, right? Now the problem comes in though, because since the 90-10 rule came into play, the same way our country's economic climate has sort of taken a little bit of a dip, being granted junk status, it makes investor confidence a little bit low. In the same way, there were reports over the last 12 months, obviously, of various advertisers pulling their campaigns from SABC radio stations because they were scared of numbers declining. In some radio stations, numbers have declined, so they pull their advertising because for them, it's about return on investment. If you don't have a lot of listeners or a lot of viewers, it's going to make me less likely to spend money on you as an advertiser because of what is going to be the return on investment. What was positive to note is that with some radio stations, their numbers have actually stayed stable despite the 90-10 rule. So it makes you ask the question, is it really the 90%, or are there other factors at play? There could be other things, because there's a whole lot of other political things happening behind the scenes with regards to the SABC, with boards being dissolved, new board members, the SABC 8 when it came to the news section and all of that. So a lot of those things can also play a role in the decline of numbers, not just 90-10. It could also be you have to have a look at on their staff. What kind of content are they providing? Are they providing enough value to keep listeners, listening to the radio stations? All these things contribute to whether or not there's an increase or a decline in numbers, not just 90-10, despite the fact that with music radio stations, the bulk of the content being broadcast is the music. And also, just to put music makers at ease, you'll be surprised to know that a lot of the on-air staff, a lot of people in radio welcome the 90%, because now it gives them, the excuse to actually champion the cause to play more South African music. They've been craving something like this for a very long time, and now finally they actually get to implement it. So that is another thing that needs to be considered. Now, with the increase of 3 to 4%, now you're thinking, if advertisers are not advertising, that means less money coming in. The only other way the SABC gets their money in is through TV license fees. And already there's controversy surrounding that because a lot of people don't pay their TV license. So the SABC has been losing a lot of money in recent times. Also, the local content quota is not just for radio, it was for TV as well. Now, with music, with radio stations, it's easy to okay, I'm not going to play Beyonce, I'm going to play Tia Black instead. I'm not going to play a T.I., I'm going to play a Nasty C instead. That's easy to do the shift that way, or easier rather. But with TV, it's different, because buying rights to broadcast a foreign TV show is a lot cheaper than making money available to produce it locally. So that's also another factor that comes into play. And I think I'm running a little bit out of time for this video, so I think I need to continue it in the next episode. But just those are some of the things that you need to start considering when it comes to the financial implications of this rule, possibly. Okay, it's not the only factor, but it's one of the factors. And I think we'll carry this on into the next episode of the series on the 90% SA Music Quota. For now, please give me a thumbs up, please subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next Studio Talk vlog.
Ooh, it's the Inglis man.